Hey there, guys. We've got news for Global on August 1st. And in this video, my voice may sound a little bit scratchy. I've been sick for the past few days. I'm mostly over it at this point. But, apologies if I sound a little bit strange in the video, and I'll try to avoid coughing as much as possible. Anyway, the new units this week are Crimson Knight Rain and Hero Resurrected Tyus. These are both units from the JP server. We kind of already know about them, and overall, they're pretty decent units. So let's get in here and take a look at the units. So their step up is really nothing special. It looks like a shared banner, a regular step up with no perks. On a quick math, it looks like about 40,000 lapis to get a pity. So that's not too bad, I guess. And yeah, there you go. No special perks for them. Their vision card is shared. I'll just mention real quickly. It's a 130 card, so you're never going to use it. But there it is. Let's see here. So Crimson Knight Rain. Looks like he is not getting any upgrades. I'm a little bit surprised at that. Honestly speaking, he didn't need upgrades because he's really a good unit. I just kind of figured he would just, because. But he's not. Even his leader skill is being left as the segregated version instead of boosting it to the Clash version, which I'm honestly surprised at. But, okay. So as far as what the unit does, he is a damage dealer and a magical cover tank. Now that being said, he is a magical cover tank, but he's not that great at boosting the party's mitigation. He's okay for his own, but honestly, he's really, in terms of purely being a tank, he's nowhere near as good as Abigail. Abigail blows him away as far as party support goes, but damage, he's very, very good at damage. And he can tank while dealing that damage. And he's fine as a tank. It's just that, if you want things like mitigation for your party and all that, he's not really who you're looking for. He's more of like a selfish tank. But anyway, yep, that's him. He is a trance shift. So right there, 4 turn duration, 3 turn cooldown to reshift. Kind of irritating. He can tank in both forms, and he can damage in both forms. But a lot of his good stuff is locked behind the shift form. And I will say it can be quite irritating to use him on long content, like a trial that goes multiple turns. Specifically, if we're going to use him for the global series boss battles, you can definitely make it work. I'll just say it's a little bit awkward, him being locked into the base form for some turns every now and then. But overall, he's still pretty good. He's got 89 breaks as well, and amplify fields for his elements. I believe they're fire, light, and guys, we can actually look right here. Fire, light, and lightning. He's got a field for all 3 of those as well. Amplify for all 3 of those. Overall, a really good unit. But he's not getting upgraded either, which kind of sucks. And then his leader skill is 1250 for all Brave Exvius units, and then 750 for fire. This is what I was talking about. Sorry, excuse me. That's what I was talking about with them not combining the categories. On all the previous versions of this, or not maybe not all of them, but a lot of the previous ones, they just made the secondary equal to the first one and then added a clash to the secondary. His is not being done to that. It's just 1250 for Brave Exvius and 750 for fire. But still, 1250 for Brave Exvius is pretty good. That being said, is it better than, for example, Wilhelm's leader skill, who is 1250 for Clash? Because let's be honest for a minute. Which Brave Exvius units are we taking that don't have the Clash category? Do they even exist? Pretty much all the units from Brave Exvius that are actually worth using these days are the global units. I could be forgetting some, but in any case, this is a 1250 for all Brave Exvius. And yeah, good damage dealer, usable magic tank, and good breaker, good weapon imperils, good fields, all that. I actually don't have my spreadsheet open, but we can open that right now. Let's see. Dark Visions Burst. Not that we're ever getting Dark Visions again, but if we did have a Dark Visions, he would be basically second best, just very slightly behind Clive, which is pretty good. Pretty good. And actually, because his natural weapon in peril is only 40, if you gave him a 50% weapon in peril externally, he'd actually beat Clive very slightly. But yeah, good unit. Really good unit. I wouldn't mind having him. If you've seen my videos, you know that I dumped everything I had on the anniversary, and then everything I built up since then, I dumped on Wilhelm. So I've got nothing at all left over for Rain. So, I may have, 1,000 lapis from event or something. Sure, I'll use him on his banner, and we'll see what happens. But I'm not holding my breath. But there we go. Good unit. And then the other one is Tyus. And he is being upgraded. So his upgrade is for his leader skill. We'll talk about that more in a second. As far as the unit himself, he is a overdrive unit. So if you know from Wilhelm, that means he's not SLB and he's not Brave Shift. He's just a regular unit with no shift form and no SLB, but he has the overdrive. His is for elite soldiers, and it says right here 200%. That's at EX0. At EX1, it would be 300%. Keep that in mind. Anyway, for elite soldiers, yes. Other than that, he is a fire, light, and I forget. Oh, not even fire. I'm sorry. Lightning, earth, and light unit. Yeah, so not fire. Lightning, earth, and light unit. And he's a damage dealer. We're going to look at his damage real quick. It's slightly lower than Rain's, but again, he has a really bad weapon in peril. And again, if you give him an external weapon in peril that makes up for his bad natural one, he would obviously be a lot better. I've actually considered on my spreadsheet to equalize the imperils, because you can get the imperils. This is kind of off topic, by the way. But actually, let me know in the comments your thoughts on this. I'll just tell you what I'm talking about. So I've considered on my spreadsheet equalizing the imperils up to the maximum available externally, which would basically just put everybody to everybody at a 50% weapon in peril. I would just assume that you have the best weapon in peril externally in your party for calculations. That would obviously throw some units a lot higher in the calculations, but if you don't have that weapon in peril, it would not be as good of a calculation. But I don't know. Let me know in the comments your thoughts. Should I equalize weapon in perils to just be the highest possible in game, or should I leave them at a unit's personal best only, not assuming a higher external? Let me know in the comments what you think about that decision on calculations. But anyway, back to the news. Yeah, other than that, I mean, he's not really doing a whole lot for your party. He doesn't really have any big support. He doesn't have any fields. He's not... I don't think he's a breaker. I don't specifically remember. Is he a breaker? I don't think he's a breaker. Yeah, he has no... I know he has no fields. I don't think he has breaks either. Yeah, no breaks either. Yeah. He's literally just a damage dealer, basically, with an overdrive. I mean, he's good damage. Don't get me wrong. He's good damage, yeah. So, yeah. But he's, kind of whatever. But his upgrade is the leader skill. So his leader skill in JP was only 1,000% for light. In global, it's buffed to 1250. So 1250 to all light units in global. And on my spreadsheet, I've gone ahead and updated it already for the new overdrive from Tyus and the new leader skills from Tyus and Rain. So all the calculations are now including both of them. And yeah, that's the units. And then the only event this week, as usual, they are skipping all the rest of the content. We're just getting the farm event, the most boring of all the options. But here it is. So one thing in the event is the list of rewards has been bumped up to 400,000 points. Don't you love farming? Well, now you can farm even more. Great. So lots and lots of farming needed. And then something else I noticed is they are taking some of the gear from other parts of the game that they're obviously skipping and moving it into the farming event. So this ring, for example, normally comes from level 4 of the Garuda Tower, the sealed tower for Garuda. This is pretty much, obvious example is we're not getting the tower on global. We kind of already knew that we're not getting any more big content on global. We're in kind of the final month, but yeah. So here you go, more examples. So the ring from Garuda's tower is moved into the farming event, and here you go right here. Here's some gear for Azure Lastwell. This was supposed to come from a gear stage. Obviously, we're not getting it. And here's your little preview of what's coming next week. So next week will be Azure Knight Lastwell. Can't wait. So for all of you that keep telling me, oh, we're not skipping Cloud, they're just delaying him. At some point, you really have to pull your heads out of the sand. But yeah, there you go. Next week is Lastwell, not Cloud. Anyway, some more stuff right here. Again, all this stuff came from other parts of the game. Like this came from a trial boss. They're just sticking it in here because why not? This also came from the Garuda Tower. They're just sticking it in here because, we're not getting it. But there it is. So the bonus units are Brave Exvius category. Normally, I would kind of recommend people to set some bonus units for their friends, but I kind of assume at this point everyone's got at least a few Brave Exvius units in their friends list or on their friends slots, so this is probably already done. But just in case, for some weird reason, you've got like all Final Fantasy VII units in your friend slots, consider putting a few of them to Brave Exvius category. So yeah, there's the only events for the week. And then this, normally I don't really mention the bundles and stuff, but I just had to smile at this and like just the irony of this. So, going all the way back to the beginning of the game, the global team has kind of like made jokes with the namings and all that of like, some events or bundles or login rewards and all. I just found this one especially ironic. They're selling you an expensive bundle and calling it the Bravest Bloodline Bundle. Now, obviously, this is a play on things like Rain and Tyus because they're like, the bravest bloodline. But I just find it funny, them selling a bundle on this month. And, most people at this point know what's coming at the end of the month. But them calling this the bravest bloodline, like it is brave of them to this flagrantly sell you an expensive bundle on August 1st. But it is what it is. If you want to buy it, by all means, do what you want. I recommend you not. But it's all your decision. Do what you want. I'm sorry. I was really sick this weekend, but thankfully I'm for the most part over it. Anyway, yeah, and I know I did say I was going to post more videos of the series boss battle stuff with Wilhelm and all. It's just that like I was literally laying in bed for the majority of this weekend. I am starting to feel better this morning. And I'm starting to feel a lot better now that another day has passed. But yeah, hopefully in the next few days or at some time this week, I will get around to running those series boss battles with Wilhelm. It's just like I really wasn't feeling up to it this weekend. Anyway, there's the news. Wish we had more to talk about. So on, I guess next week, no, on Thursday, August 1st, we should also have the monthly bulletin. That should be fun to watch. So anyway, I'll see you on, soon. I guess that's it for global. And just if you're just, wanting to hear me talk longer, I can mention that there's also a little bit of news from JP. The next JP event is Final Fantasy 15 with another version of Noctis, another version of Arden. Those are Neo Plus units. There's also going to be another version of Arden. Yes, we're getting 2 new Ardens next week from JP. Actually, in 2 days from JP. But the other version of Arden is the series boss battle version. They're going to give you the final boss version as a free unit, and then the gotcha version from gotcha. Also, just something a little interesting that JP is doing. JP is adding the ability to toggle your limit burst element. So, for example, you know how for a long time mages were kind of considered bad because they're elementally locked and there's nothing you can do about it. Like if you use Dark Rain's Limit Burst, no matter what, it is only dealing dark damage, exclusively dark damage. Well, JP is adding a feature that you can toggle the element of your unit's Limit Burst. Now, it was from a live stream, so I don't know specifically how it's going to work. The way I think it's going to work is it's only going to apply to units going forward. So I don't think it's updating old units. So Dark Ring, and all other mages are still screwed. But going forward, mages, you will be able to toggle their LB's element. So they won't be locked anymore. I think. Like I said, it's news from a JP stream. We'll see it in game in 2 days. Then I can probably speak more about it. I don't fully understand what they're saying in the JP streams, but we'll see in 2 days. But anyway, I just found that kind of interesting. It took them 7 or 8 years to realize locking a unit to one element with nothing to change that is bad design, and a reason that mages were second-class citizens for so long. One of the reasons. There's a lot of reasons. That's just one of the many reasons that they're hard locked to an element. So it's nice to see them addressing that, 8 years later. Anyway, okay. I'm going to stop talking before I tear up my throat even more. Okay, I will see you guys for the next thing very soon. See you then.